Hey guys, this is a hard surface modeling tutorial for the model that you can see here with Blender 2.90 Alpha and my free add-on JMesh tools. I start again with the default cube. We don't need the camera, so we can remove it. Then I go to edit mode and scale down the cube in Z and Y direction by pressing S, followed by the key Z or Y for the corresponding axis. Okay, now press K to use the knife tool to cut the kind of outlines for the indentations on the side into the mesh. To get straight lines for the cuts, I press the C key, which constrain the cuts to 45-degree increments. Okay, another cut, another shape I add about here. Left click to add another cut, and to apply the shape, press the Enter key. Now this edge here should be at the same height as the edge on the right side, so I switch to Edge Selection and set the snapping to Edges. Then I select this edge, press G followed by Z and hover with the cursor over this edge so that it snaps to this location. Nice, now I go to Face Selection because I want to move these faces here to the inside of the mesh. If I would do this by pressing the E key to extrude to the inside, you can see this leads to a mesh that is not the desired one. But with this new tool, Extrude Dissolve and Intersect, you can just push this to the inside. You can also go ahead and move this a bit more to the inside without creating new geometry. Alright, now let's create some bevels for these edges here. Press Ctrl and B to add the bevel. And then a bevel with more segments to this edge. Just move the mouse wheel to add more segments. Okay, and the same I do for this edge. Now this doesn't look too symmetric, but no problem. Press A to select all, then F3, search for Symmetrize, and in the Symmetrize options set the direction to -Y to +Y. Very nice, this is a kind of base mesh. We don't need this edge, we can double click to select it, then right click and choose Dissolve Edge. The next step will be to add some slices to the mesh, and this is a Boolean operation, which we will do with my JMesh tools add-on. I go here to the wireframe viewport shading, then open the JMesh panel. I will add the link to the add-on to the description below, and after that I press this button to activate the primitive mode. I press the P key again to set the primitive to rectangle and then O to set the operation to slice. Then I draw a rectangular shape onto the mesh and press E to extrude it to a box. When I press now Ctrl and left click, I slice. This means I kind of cut the shape into the object. Then I press the G key to move the box downwards and press again Ctrl left click to slice. Okay, nice, now we have 3 objects, but I select these 2 new objects and join them by pressing Ctrl and J. Then I go to edit mode again and select these edges. And to bevel them, I press Ctrl and B, but I move the mouse wheel to reduce the number of segments to 1. Alright, and now it's time to add some holes to the mesh, to the first object. Again, I use my JMesh tools add-on. This time I disable snapping to the grid and activate the primitive mode, and also the wireframe display so that I can see where I'm cutting into the mesh. I press P to set the primitive to circle and O to set the operation to difference. Okay, then I draw a circle here onto the mesh with that radius, and then I press G to move the circle, and then I press Ctrl left click to cut into the mesh. Great, and another hole I want to cut here at this location, and I do just the same. I draw a circle and then cut it into the mesh. To bring it to the other side as well, I symmetrize again, and after that I dissolve this edge loop. Okay, that's the shape that I was going for, and now let's add some materials. First I select this object, go to the Material tab and set the base color to a darker tone. Then I decrease the roughness a bit to make it more shiny, and then I select this object and define a new material for this, and this will be full metallic. Also decrease the roughness a bit, and that's it. Very nice, but to add this hard surface look and feel, we have to add some bevels to these objects. So I select this one and add a bevel modifier. For this I enable harden normals, set the limit method to angle, increase the segments to 3, and set the offset to a value of 0.007. I tried that before. Then I set the shading to smooth for the object, then go to the data properties and set the normals to auto smooth. And now this looks nice and crisp, and I execute the same procedure for the other object as well. Okay, now give this object a bit of an offset. I just move it to the front by pressing G followed by X, and also a bit in Z direction. Yeah, and that's basically it. Looks interesting. I will disable the overlays now and then enable the scene lights. This is just one point light, but it gives a nice shadow. But to make it look more pop, I go here to the render properties and enable ambient occlusion and bloom, and also increase the quality of the shadows. Yeah, and if you like, you can go crazy now and add some more indentations and panels. For example, select this face, press I to add an inset, and then bring this face to the inside with the Extrude Dissolve that is still selected. Or let's try this again for these faces here. Again, select them and press the I key to add an inset. And then again use Extrude Dissolve and intersect to bring it to the inside. And how about selecting the faces of this ring here and add another material for it? For example, the metal material. So with the faces selected, you go to the Material tab, then add a second material, use the existing metal material that we defined, and then press Assign to assign it to the selected faces. Then symmetrize again so that we have the same geometry on the other side as well. And that's it. Looks great. So guys, that's what I wanted to show. I hope you like it. If you do, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you have any questions, add these to the comments below. Follow me on my Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Support me by being my patron. And I'll see you in the next one on Jayanam.